Well, we're proper Flosstubers.
Yes. Okay, so I'll do an introduction and then we'll tell you what just happened. So, welcome Flosstubers. You are now watching the second of the Neat and Not Flosstube video. It is the 9th of March. It's I don't know what day, it's Tuesday, I think. And we'll tell you what happened and then we'll actually start properly.
Oh, we're such pros.
We've just done about 20 minutes of video without actually filming.
Yes. And because the first time it went so well, we were like, this is really easy. People always say that. They've had like 9 takes. And we were like, oh, we did the other one in 1 take. Well...
Yeah, apparently you have to press record. But we got some newfangled equipment, i.e. a tripod that can hold a video up, which is why you're high and are not looking at our double chins today.
It's good for them.
It's very exciting. So we did just want to start off by saying a huge thank you to all those people who have watched and liked and commented and subscribed to our video. The response has been overwhelming. We're so pleased. And there's more people who've watched the video than Catherine and I know combined. So there are strangers watching. Hi!
Yep.
And I only told my mum about the video yesterday, so she's only watched it like 4 times, so she doesn't count.
Oh, and 3 people from Dunedin.
Oh, that's exciting because
exciting.
As far as we're aware, we're the only New Zealand Flosstube video people at the moment.
Prove us wrong.
Yes, because we would love to follow and watch you too if you're in New Zealand, because
yes,
then we can complain about the same things and the lack of, well, on the South Island, the lack of really good shops and all that jazz.
Yep.
So, that's right. So I did just say this is our second video. So I'm all confused now. We had this great run the first time, but I did say this is our second video, but you may have noticed if you've subscribed to our account that it's potentially our third. So Catherine will tell you about what she's been doing.
Yes, so I've decided to record Flosstube in Spanish. So we're going to do that every second week. So we're hoping to do these English ones every fortnight, and we're hoping to do the Spanish one in between. So that's been really exciting. It's just so lovely for me to be able to make contact with people that speak my language and share some history with me, some culture. And I've already had 1 follower from Peru, so that was super exciting. There was, I mean, apart from the magic of YouTube, there was no way she would have known that I was a Flosstuber from Peru living in New Zealand. So it's been really exciting. And we've also had a follower that used to live in Peru, but I think she's American. So really exciting. And I had a linguistic query because I left Peru 30 years ago, and although I work really hard to keep my language up, you forget things and you say things that are actually very literal translations from English, but you think they're right. So I had that query and she was able to put me, well, she actually confirmed that I was right. So that was really good, thank you. I will give her a shout out for the Spanish ones because I think she's great. In fact, we will put a link because some people follow Flosstube not because Spanish is their first language. They follow Flosstube in Spanish because they're learning Spanish. So her Flosstube is called El Baúl de Mis Amis. And we will put a link because Victoria now has linking magic. She knows what to do. I tried to do it last time.
I haven't got that far.
Oh, okay. Because I tried to put links in last time. It didn't work. So we'll try and do that. We'll see how that goes.
I watched a video on the bus this morning about how to edit and join videos. So at the moment, I think I'm a pro, but I don't know how to do that bit.
She's more of a pro than I am. So yes, Flosstube in Spanish. And thank you to everybody that has commented and stuff. I've had quite an amazing person comment on my Flosstube in Spanish, which was Jacob from Modern Folk Embroidery. So I went all fangirl on him. But it was very exciting. So yay. This silly...
Oh, our thumbnails. So with our lack of technical expertise... Sorry, you were finished talking?
No, it was... Yes, it was...
Yeah. With our lack of technical expertise,
you might shame.
You may have noticed that the thumbnail, so the image that comes up on the YouTube video, were quite unflattering to both of us.
I wonder if they're called thumbnails because it's like the video that appears, because the thumbnail is very pretty, sort of like this with the sea behind us, but the video shot.
Yeah, but we've decided that we quite like that, so we're going to try and make that a thing and find some choose from the multitude of, I'm sure, unflattering stills from these videos. Yeah. So, you know, watch out for that. Yeah. Always fun to laugh at yourself.
That's right.
Oh, did you have some shout outs you wanted to do for some fellow
Flosstubers, yes.
That's the one.
So, I get confused because I was saying some of these in Spanish, but there's someone called Elena B, and she's in America. She's in San Francisco. I think she's so great. I think we should be friends. She wears the most amazing lipsticks. She has like really eclectic taste, but she's only done 10 Flosstube videos, and I think she has, she's a baker. Life's busy for her. She wakes up very early to do her job. So perhaps she's tired, but maybe if she gets wind that, you know, from New Zealand, we're fangirling her, and can you please start doing some more? That would be fantastic. And also Scott Stitches in Spain. So this is Scott from America, but he lives in Spain, and he was so sweet welcoming me to the Flosstube community. So they're both great fun, and they have really eclectic taste, so they have all sorts of things, and there'll be something that you like of the work that they do.
Excellent.
Yeah, so that was it.
Excellent. Well, should we make a start? Do you want to show, we'll start with whips, I think.
Yep.
So do you want to show
you're way readier than I am.
Okay,
so
then I'll go.
Yeah.
So I actually, one of my whips is also in my completed projects folder today, so that's pretty exciting. But I've made a little bit more progress on the one that I showed you last week from the Linen Threads. There's not a heck of a lot. I want to stand up for this.
Isn't this gorgeous? Victoria's so clever, and she can see.
Or only in daylight, which is why there's not a heck of a lot of that progress been made on that, but it's getting there. But what I have started, and I don't think I showed you this pattern yesterday, last Flosstube video. This is a free pattern from Embroidery, and it's Wizard of Oz. So I'm doing this for my niece, who's a huge Wizard of Oz fan. But as you can see, the image is more from the book than it is from the movie, and obviously she's familiar with the movie, so I'm going to do something which is very unusual for me, and I'm going to change up some of the colours. So I'm going to do the shoes in red, I'm going to make the wee monkey in the shades of blue, I'm going to make the witch's face green, you know, so it's really nice and recognisable. I've actually really enjoyed doing this. This is where we're at. I'll see if I can fold that behind. Sorry, I haven't ironed anything, I've just got it home from work. So it's getting there. Now this is on a 32 count linen. I can't quite remember exactly what it was, but the colour is Star Sapphire. And I must admit I'm loving it. It's a very pale green.
It is beautiful.
That brings me to ask the audience.
Sorry.
That's right.
Did you say who it was by?
Yes, Embroidery, and it's a free pattern.
Cool.
So, I've got an ask the audience. This pattern calls up the use of, in particular, green metallic thread. Now, if anyone has ever worked with metallic thread before, you'll know what a pain in the rear it is, and it's horrible and it frays.
Nobody likes it.
Nobody likes it. And what I didn't say was this cross stitch is a mixture of 2/2 and 1/1, and a lot of the metallic is in 1/1. So I went to the shop the other day and I bought the satin, which is a much shinier than the ordinary cotton thread.
So this is still DMC, right?
This is still DMC, so if you're looking for numbers, the metallic is E699 and the satin is, I don't have the thing, but I think it's S700. So as you can see, they're both quite shiny. So I was wondering if anyone has worked with the satin and the metallics before, and whether people think it's an appropriate substitution, because I really don't want to do it in metallics. The Harry Potter sampler that I showed in the first Flosstube video has a lot of 1/1 in gold, and honestly it almost makes you cry. You can do about 6 centimetres of thread, and then you've got to thread your needle.
I think you have to keep your thread short. But maybe people say they're not actually interchangeable and you should do the metallic, but they might have some good tips and tricks.
That also would be helpful, so I'd love some feedback or some advice on that.
Because gold work is lovely, it does look amazing.
Oh, it does.
The gold work, metallic,
Metallic.
you know, but it does look amazing, it's just that it
Just
ages
makes me
you.
cry.
Yes, yes.
So that, I think that's all I've been, other than the one that I finished, which I'll show you when we get to the finished projects, that's my whips for this last 2 weeks.
Okay, cool. I've been doing stuff. What have I been doing? So, I have been working on my little calendar thing. So this was, I talked about this before, so it's The Joyful World by the Snowflower Diaries, and I have no commitment to patterns. you know, it's a problem. I'm quite happy with that problem, but I don't have commitment to patterns. So I grab an idea and then I run with it. But I've made progress with this, so I'm really happy. So I now have the days of the month, and I did say that I was going to do them in Spanish. So I've got enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio. Anyway, I've done them all. I'm really happy, actually. I used, I've got a couple of books on, you know, like pattern books. You pick and choose bits. It's like how to do your own design sort of cross-stitch stuff. So I'm super delighted with this.
I think they're looking fabulous.
Yeah, and I still love, I mean, I think her design is gorgeous. I just, you know, I'm fickle. I think what I want to do is I want to have a crow or a raven, whatever this is, on every little square, because that's the thing that I love the most. And the other thing that I really love is flowers. So I'm thinking I'm definitely going to add flowers. So the next time I come on here in English, hopefully I'll have flowers on all of them, or birds, one or the other. I'm not killing myself trying to complete this, but I'm making steady progress. So that's one thing I've been working on. And the other thing that I mentioned in my Spanish language Flosstube was that how I store my projects. So I have a daughter-in-law that's half Japanese, half Bangladeshi, which is amazing. And her mother sent me a gift of these lovely cloths, which I think might have been intended as a scarf, but you know, I'm doing the Japanese wrapping thing, and that's how I keep my projects. This one here is even cooler because it's the wave, that really famous Japanese print. So, and I really love this because I get to touch it every day.
Are they silk?
This one's silk, so I'll show you.
Stunning.
This one's silk. I'm more of a linen cotton person than silk, but anyway, this is so beautiful, and I wasn't sure what to do with them, and so I just kept them for a bit. But this is the perfect thing because I get to enjoy it every day, and I get to not just have it but appreciate the gesture. So I am working on my friends and family from Linen and Threads. I have finished the first page. Oh, and a funny thing happened here, which maybe it happened to other people. I completed this here, which to me looked like a little heart with a funny thing around above and below. Well, it wasn't, because when you actually turned it, it was actually 2 letters K, because it's friends and family are supposed to put initials. So I only realized when I finished it. So I was like, oh, and it was late, and I couldn't think of friends that I wanted to honor, and I just wasn't in the place to think about it. So what I did is I undid stuff. So I've kept my little heart, which I like, and it's got a little squiggle on the bottom. My dog's making noise. Can you let her out?
I'll let her out.
All right, sweetie. So anyway, I'm so happy with this. I've done a whole page. I've started the second page. So I'm really thrilled about this. And so, what am I using for this? Edinburgh, 35 count. I'm really happy. And the Flossers DMC. I actually had to go out and buy this because I would never buy a number. So I've got 15 DMC flossers to make sure it lasts.
If we're buying locally in Dunedin, DMC at this stage is about our only option. We've got 2, would you call them big box?
Oh yeah, that's right, because there's the other one. Yeah, we have 2 shops.
Yeah.
One's Australian.
I think
I'm
they're
not
both
sure about
Australian. So it's Spotlight and Lincraft, and it caters to all sorts of crafts, and but not necessarily the more
it's all right.
boutique. It's fine. It gets us threads. It gets us some linen.
We're just a bit ungrateful because it's
we are very ungrateful.
If we ever were to lose Spotlight, we'd be devastated.
We would.
So I do that, and the other thing I like to do is I like to go what we call op shopping here. So I go to the charity shops and I buy all sorts of little cloths. So this is a tray cloth, and so women would have spent a long time making these things. My daughter's in the kitchen trying to be quiet. You know that loud quiet? That. She's gonna get the ice cream that I bought for her because I'm such a nice mum. Solo uno, mi vida. So I keep my little project in this. So this project is from Modern Folk Embroidery, and this is a project that's dear to my heart because he talked about this for his 10-year anniversary show, and it's the freebie, and it's the Black Lives Matter freebie.
And we should mention that although the pattern is free, he has asked that if you can afford to, make a donation to a charity that champions I'm having a mental blank.
So, BIPOC and minority, so Black and Indigenous groups. So in New Zealand, our largest Indigenous group is the Maori, who actually were in this land for 1,000 years before the Europeans arrived. And there is a lot of work to do in that space to make sure that they don't fall behind. So I went to a page called Give a Little. I don't know if that's an international page, but it exists in New Zealand, so you can support all sorts of causes in there. And I found this organization, I've forgotten the name, but they encourage Maori kids to go into film studies and that sort of thing. So they give them all sorts of support and they teach them film studies. And that sounded spot on because anything that's creative gets my vote. And this was to support Maori youth. So that was really great. And isn't this just the most gorgeous? It is so beautiful. There are so many mistakes in this. You'll never see them. But I kind of like, the little devil on my shoulder is like, oh, if Victoria could notice, she would be so uncomfortable. Oh. But I don't care. I'm just really happy. I decided because I had to find an excuse. This is a metaphor of the human condition. That we mean well and we try our hardest and we still make mistakes. So that's my excuse. So anyway, it's very beautiful. He did a really good job. Thank you, Jacob. So that lives in here. And of course, I'm going to be a bit worried about running out of the floss because of course, there's that Molino Teng floss from Peru. I only have one skein of that. So we'll see what happens.
Can you get it online?
Oh, probably not. Things are tough in Peru at the moment with the virus. So I have one person that could send me things, but I wouldn't ask her to go to the shops to get me something that's to do with my hobby. So, and it doesn't, actually to me, it doesn't matter. I've already thought of it. I definitely have enough to do the bottom bit. And if I have to do the band in a different color, that's fine. Because I quite like a bit of a clash. So that's fine.
Excellent.
Oh, and I've got one more that arrived in the post after we filmed.
Have you started?
I've started it. I actually went to sleep at 2 this morning. And today is Tuesday. I had to go to work. That was not clever. I haven't done that in a while. So anyway, I love this pattern. It's called Quaker Crow by The Work Basket. Very lovely. It's kind of a graphic sort of thing. And I'm working it. I know that it would have looked best in black, but I decided that the pattern was encouraging me to do black, so I had to be contrary because it's me.
It's you. Yep.
Yes. So it's in green. But I really like this. So, and I kind of envisage doing this. I might try using a 56 count if I can get to see the little holes. Because it'd be really lovely to have this in a really small...
In a wee teeny tiny.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? Are you doing 1/2 or?
Yes, 1/2 with this, another Molino Tren green. And this is a 36 count. Oh, and I'll give this seller a shout out at the end. I am so happy with this linen. It's called Silvery Moon by Number 12 Stitch Co. Fantastic on Etsy, but I'll talk a little bit more about it at the end. But I'm really happy, and this was probably 4 hours work. There's a bit of fudging going on already. Fudging keeps me happy. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. So that's all my whips, I think.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh well, should we go on to completed?
Oh yeah, I should show the bag.
You should show
You know how all the fancy people show their bags? Okay. Did we talk about me shopping?
No, we haven't yet. So,
okay.
Catherine told a fib in the video.
Not quite.
She did. In the last week's video when she said she wasn't a shopper.
I'm not.
Both me and her husband cracked up at this comment. So you talk about your shopping.
Okay, so I don't really like to go to the fancy shops that are like the proper shops with brand new goods. Don't like it. I like secondhand shopping. I can shop for England if I'm on holiday, but in my normal day-to-day life, I don't really like to go to the shops in town. But somehow in my brain, if it's books or craft,
Or you've ordered it online.
or I've ordered it online, that's okay. That doesn't count as shopping. But I will
Does
say
on
in
the
my
credit
defense,
card.
yes, I will say in my defense that I'm actually really thrifty as well. So for example, my little project bag. So this was, I got married 25 years ago, and this was my quilt cover. And then when it got ratty, I just made them into bags because I love embroidery, even machine embroidery. So and this is where I keep it, and I'm really happy with it. So anyway, not a sort of shiny, fancy from the shops bag, but I'm really fond of this. And we're gonna have to stop it now.
We are going to have to stop it
Yeah.
because we think
We'll
the
come
rest
back.
of our craft group has just arrived. Let's see, I can cut the front of this out.
That looks good.
Are we too high?
No. Okay.
And hello, we're back. Sorry we've taken a short break, well, quite a long break. It was our craft night, so the others have left, or the other.
Yes, one of our friends from a long-standing craft night came over for the first time in a couple of months now.
Yeah.
She doesn't come every week, so.
It was lovely to catch up with her.
Yes, it was.
So I think we were at finished projects, or at least if we weren't, that's where we're going to start.
Yes.
So, we've got your cup of tea, so I'll start. So I've got 3 finished projects to show you this week. One of them is a recent finish, and 2 of them are old finishes. So you might remember in the first video we did, I had, this is a new pattern, the wee Bumblebee there, by a name I can't remember, but I will put a bit of text going along the bottom of the screen.
Designed by Nadezhda Gavrilenkova.
Well done. It's called Bumblebee. It was from Etsy. Super cute. I'm so pleased with it. So this is going to be, is it in focus? This is going to be a gift to my brother because, you know, what 30-year-old doesn't want a Bumblebee cross stitch for his birthday? So that's for him.
Can you remember the linen?
The linen is a 32 count natural. No.
And you did, because of course remember Victoria does that 1/1 thing. So this is
Oh, sorry, that's 2/1.
2/1.
Yeah, 2/2.
2
Sorry,
over 2.
it's
so
late.
This is like people my age can see this.
Yeah.
So this is really good. It's all great. It's so cute.
It's so cute, and I actually think it's
His
a
partner
pattern.
will like it, even if he
Yes.
doesn't.
Yeah. I think it's a pattern that I'll probably do multiple times because it'd be nice for like fronts of cards or
Sewing scissor fobs.
yes, all that sort of thing. I can see multiple uses. Plus, it's really cute, and I want one for my wall.
Yes.
My last 2 finishes are 2 that I did a number of years ago.
This is quite impressive.
One of them I've actually stitched the date that I finished onto it, and the other one I haven't. So, okay. So said I've finished this in April, it would be 2015. So it's either 2014 and 15 or 15 and 16 that I did these 2. I can't remember which order I did them in. So they are 2 Art Nouveau ladies. I'll bring them in. Oh, can you see? They're big. So that's one of them. They are by, how do you pronounce that?
Lanarte?
Lanate?
I don't know. We don't know what country it's from.
No, classic collection.
Italian.
This was a kit that I bought. So, or 2 kits actually. And this is the other one. They're a pair. Now they're not framed because by the time I did these, I had to pay for my own framing. So, this is why these aren't framed.
Oh look, it's a kit. It was with DMC, so you don't have to
DMC thread.
remember.
Excellent.
It's a company in Holland.
So there she is. And this is 2/2, I believe, or a little bit of 1/2 for
Look
that.
at these. I mean, it's all beautiful, but I love these curves.
Yeah. We'll take it a little bit closer. She's just lovely. She does need to get framed.
She does need to get framed. Maybe we can put pressure on Victoria to frame this by the end of the year.
Oh, so expensive to get things framed in New Zealand though, or at least in Dunedin.
But one of the things that we want to do, which I don't know if you'll be brave to do this, but we want to learn how to do our lacing and framing. So maybe we can practice with a smaller thing, and if it goes well, then
do these ones.
We can do these together.
I apologise. I just noticed I'm standing up and talking, so all you're seeing is my chest. But you know, you don't need to see the top of my head. This is the money shot.
And they'll look lovely one next to the other.
And I'm sorry, I haven't even ironed them. Well, they are much prettier than I remember them being.
Gosh. So you reckon it took you a year to stitch each one?
I think it took me about a year, and that's because I was a casual stitcher. I would stitch, I think I did them completely at craft group, which used to be once a fortnight for a couple of hours. And a lot of talking.
Yeah, it's hard to concentrate on these things when you're at craft group.
Yeah, and I've always very much been I'll pick it up and do it solidly for a couple of weeks or a couple of months and then leave it for a year or so.
Very lovely.
So those are my finished projects.
Cool. So I have, someone said they liked how I said cool, so now I'm really self-conscious that I say cool a lot. When I was younger, saying cool was cool. So I've got a couple of finishes that I'm going to show that are not stitching related, but they're embroidery and knitting, so I'll put those at the end. But I just wanted to show you because I'm amused by this. When I decided, one day I woke up and I was desperate to stitch, and I would text Victoria saying, I'm obsessed, I want to do cross stitch. Because we live in New Zealand and I really wanted to do linen, and I knew that if I bought it from the big box store, it cost about double the price of buying linen from other places. So I put in an order and I was waiting. So in the meantime, I just grabbed one of my cloths from the op shop, which is the charity shops. And it looked like linen, so I was like, yeah, I'll use this. And of course, I buy things that are damaged as well. So someone had cut out, or the lace had got damaged. So they had holes. But anyway, I just got my book out with my alphabet, and I just stitched. I have two daughters. One's called Sophia, and I've asked her permission, and I can say her name. So an S for Sophia, and it's really quite beautiful. Well, you can't tell. See, you can't tell, Victoria. Like,
No, you can't tell.
I don't believe in perfection. There are so many mistakes. I actually couldn't see. This was a ridiculous exercise in like throwing my needle and hoping for the best. I just couldn't see. So anyway, I did that. And then I have another daughter, and she has said that, no, I cannot say her name on this. So her initial is C. And I think I did well with that. And then I got further desperate, and I just wanted to do things. And so I started messing around, and this is probably going to be a scissor keep fob thingy. And it's all like random animal, what could this be? But I made it up, and I got bored. I thought it started looking Christmassy with all these things, so then I thought, right, I'll do something else, and I put in a key. And then, do you particularly appreciate the very wonky 2 there for 2021? See, I'm the best. I'm the best at wonky. I love wonky.
Oh, it's brilliant.
And then there was this thing that looked a bit religious, which was not intentional, but it was just a thing. Just something to keep me going whilst I waited for post to arrive. So I just want to show you that because I am amused by that. And that's it for my...
That's your completed?
That's my completed. So,
Alright, so pantry. I haven't got any pantry this week. I've got a large parcel expected, but
Yeah.
like everything at the moment, the postage is just a bit slow, so hopefully that'll turn up eventually.
yeah. So, as I said, I'm not a shopper. I did want to order something. So my long-term goal is I actually want to design things because I've said before that I really want to have things in Spanish to have around the house. But I also wanted to get excited about some patterns, and I came across things in different floss tubes. And so these two I ordered because Ellen from Maximum Cross Stitch Power Hour was working on them, and they were so beautiful. And I'm a bit obsessed with birds. So I got this one, which is His Eyes on the Sparrow, which I just love.
Stunning.
It is so beautiful. I don't know how long it will take me, and I don't know that it matters, but it is so beautiful. And I thought I could do a mathematical thing where I divide it between a year, and then that tells me how many motifs I need to do. So I'll probably do something like that. And I've ordered the linen as well. So I ordered that, and then I ordered And a Forest Grew. So there's a bit of a theme here. There's an Ellen theme going on. But this was so beautiful, and I thought there's plenty of variety here. I won't get bored, which is fabulous for me. So there were two. And then I ordered Whip It Good. There is a part of me as I get older, like if you could see my doors, my French doors are shocking pink. Like I do bright colors. But as I get older, I'm really drawn to grey. So, and
very
I am
unlike you.
fighting it like you wouldn't believe. Victoria thinks it's hilarious. So I ordered this because I was just so drawn to it. It's so beautiful. It's white on grey. I mean, this is just not me. So I refuse to cave in. It would probably be lime green on fuchsia or something like that, but very beautiful. So that's Whip It Good. And then, because I am sentimental, I got this Loving You, and I thought this is such a little kit. I'll get it done very quickly, and that will make me feel good about making progress. Probably not on that sort of pink, maybe on some blue. And then I ordered a sampler, and I'm actually not that happy with it. It's beautiful. It's not like I don't like it, but I always like personalized things, and Victoria really liked it. She tried to get me to sell it to her, but I said no. And then I felt a bit mean, and I thought, maybe I should give it to her because Victoria has been helping me paint all weekend. So I was like, oh, maybe you should be kind, Kathy, and you could give her this as a thank you. But then I decided against it.
Good job.
So the reason I'm not 100% sure is because of the house. So the house is very lovely, and it's called Never Let You Go. But the reason I'm not sure is because I used to live in England where I think most of the houses are brick. But I live in New Zealand now, and I love the wooden houses. So I don't want to have a brick house. That's really my excuse.
Change it up.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking about changing it. Plenty of brick houses here, but for me, New Zealand is about the wooden houses. So I might change it. So anyway, we'll see. I don't think it's a big sampler, so that's fine. And I also got some straw linen, just 32 count, because I want to try different counts and see what works best for me.
What you can see.
Yeah, what I can see. I'm going to buy a very small piece of 56 to see if I can see it. I probably can't, so that's okay. So that was what I got from 123. 123 Stitch?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've actually been really great, really good service, really reasonable postage to New Zealand, which we really appreciate.
Yes, we do.
But the thing that really impressed me, we have bought linen from 3 different places together now. And
Saving on postage.
Saving on postage. The thing that has impressed me the most, and this is probably more of interest to New Zealand, Australian people, is this linen. I bought 2 pieces. So one I used for the crow, the Quaker crow that I showed you. And this one is going to be for the His Eye on the Sparrow. And it's from number 12 Stitch Co. So this is an Etsy seller. She lives in Queensland in Australia. She was super helpful. I haven't really ordered that much from Etsy, so I was emailing her, and she said she would do a special order for me. And then she said, I'll do it over the next few days. Next thing I know, she's already done the dyeing. It was free postage because I ordered 2 pieces and it went over a certain amount. It was just so beautifully done. That she did a lovely, lovely job. And it's really funny because I ended up ordering 2 greys. And they're so different, and yet, you know, grey. But it's very beautiful. So this one's called Rain Cloud. It's 36 count. And it came overlocked. Honestly, I was just so like, oh my God, she's so lovely. So she's Nicola. So if you're in New Zealand and you want to try a different linen seller, try her out. She also sells undyed. She sells a couple of undyed, but I wanted to try hand-dyed because, you know, I wanted to get excited about things. So I've ordered 2 pieces of linen from her, and I probably will be ordering more. I just need to get myself organized.
It's beautiful.
And she gave me a little gift, and, you know, I'm not going to fall for the little gift, but it was so lovely. She was just a joy. And because I'm not super comfortable shopping, I get impatient. But the customer service was amazing, and it
came really quickly.
It came really quickly, and I wonder whether things have changed, because for a while with the pandemic, we weren't getting flights with goods from Australia that were actually coming by boat.
Well,
and so it was taking about a month. And this came much faster, didn't it?
Well, I'm not even sure. My grandmother's just received a Christmas card from someone in Australia when they posted it in early November. So it's really hit and miss.
Yeah, it had been quite difficult. So I think the postage might be getting fixed. Of course, we've got a funny thing going on in Dunedin where we used to have a central postal place, but now it's not in Dunedin, it's actually in Christchurch, which is up north. So even if you're sending a letter to someone in Dunedin from Dunedin, it goes to Christchurch first. So it's all a little bit. But anyway, super pleased. So if you're looking for a seller of linen that does beautiful dyeing, number 12 Stitch Co. Nicola. Very, very great. So I've done those two. And then I tend to order my books from Better World Books. And they're an American company, but they support literacy. So that's my first point of ordering. See, I don't like shopping. And so I ordered two things. I did show these in my Spanish group, but in my Spanish podcast. But this one's fantastic. It's called Embroidered Stories, Scottish Samplers. And this might be from that exhibition that they had in Scotland last year. This is what Jacob said to me from Modern Folk. And of course, I'm half Scottish. So I'm very excited about finding out more about this, and maybe I can do some of my designs that have a Scottish slant. I can do like a Peruvian-Scottish combo. And the other thing that I ordered was Welsh samplers. And one of the lovely things about this is that they work really hard in Wales to promote their own language. So this is in Welsh and in English, which is super lovely. And for example, you get some lovely illustrations of samplers. So I'm very excited to be looking through these. And that's it. I don't think I have anything else now. This will probably be it for shopping. I need to get some needles and some bits and bobs, but you won't be seeing a lot of shopping from me because I actually don't shop a lot. That is actually true, even though not as funny as making fun of me.
Well, I have a huge list of things I want to buy, so I'm sure you'll be seeing some shopping from me.
Yes.
Hopefully my package will arrive in time for the next video.
Yes.
So before we move on to the non-cross-stitch part of the video...
Oh yes, I forgot about that.
If you don't want to watch Catherine's other crafts, because yet again I haven't dug any of my other crafts out, at the end of this video, Catherine and I have done some filming, like about a minute, of Port Chalmers, which is the area that we live, which we went out and filmed last night. So hopefully I can remember how to stitch videos together, and at the end there should be, yeah, about a minute and a half of different views in Port Chalmers. There's no audio to it because we were swearing a lot, because it's just the way we were.
We're super professional.
Yeah, so now Catherine will work us through some of the other amazing crafts that she's done.
So I realised actually, Victoria and I thought we weren't nervous for the first one, and then when we watched it, we were actually super fast. We didn't talk about anything. So anyway, I had like 3 seconds of this project. So I've just finished this, which I was kind of at the armhole before. So I've just finished it, and as I said, I mean, it's hard with navy, but this is actually quite a heathery yarn. And this was the first time I'd bought a jumper from a charity shop, and I'd unraveled it and washed it and skeined it and then done a project. So I bought it about maybe 4 years ago, and I finally did something with it. So I knitted it up to here, and it was all covered in cables. And then I thought, well, actually, you don't want that many cables, Catherine. So I unraveled it all. And I remember, if you've ever come across Eva of the Charm of It, and I think she calls her podcast now Eva of the Crafty Spoons, she was saying it's okay if you unravel because it's more knitting enjoyment for the same price of the yarn. So, you know, I kind of go with that. I'm really happy with this. I ended up, when I redid it, I did a little detail here. So, you know, I'm a curvy lady. So this goes over my waist, and it's got a little detail that opens up. It's got the rib. Then I did this stag horn thingy, which is really lovely. But my favorite bit is this honeycomb stitch, which is the first time I've done it, and I love it. I'm kind of obsessed. I want to do a blanket that has a strip of this going up the side, but not yet because I've got to finish my quilt.
But you made that pattern up, didn't you?
Yeah, I just figured it out. I've got lots of stitch books, so I just figured out a pattern. And I'm super lazy, so I don't want to do maths. So I grab something else that I've knitted, and I kind of figure it out, and then I measure against it, and then I go, oh, that's okay. It's all very rough and ready. But I like my little detail here, because when you come to the rib, this stitch here doesn't have a rib. I just finished the rib at the sides. And I thought it wouldn't work, but now that I've blocked it, it's actually looking very nice. And you can't see it now because I took it off because it was actually quite warm. But I quite often wear my poofy skirts, a shirt, and this sort of thing on for work. And I think I look quite smart.
She does.
People might not agree, but that's okay. So I've done that. And you might have seen that I posted on Instagram my photo of my hexi quilt that I'm making, which is king size, and it's almost finished. So I'm not knitting anything new until that quilt is finished, I've decided. And Victoria, because she's like the queen of editing now, she's going to add a photo. Because it's too big. It's too big to do anything with it. So I just wanted to show you the sort of embroidery that I normally do. So normally I decorate my clothing quite a bit. So I buy tray cloths, and then I buy fabric and I put them together. So I am wearing, so this is a skirt I made for myself, and it's got my lovely tray cloth, and then my freestyle embroidery that you probably can't see. Oh, there's my petticoat. But it says be anti-racist here. And I embroidered this last year in 2020 when things were, there were a lot of demonstrations, and Dunedin is such a quiet, sleepy place. I didn't feel I could do anything apart from kind of talk with my clothes about how I feel. So I do that sort of thing a lot. I embroider on my clothes a lot. And then I was given this blouse by another lovely friend, and I've been doing embroidery tattoo on it. So this is why I laugh at myself about being obsessed with patterns now. But so I do freestyle stuff, and I just decorate whatever takes my fancy. So I had a little bird here. I love birds, so I've got a little bird. And we did our first craft weekend last year?
Last year, yeah.
So I embroidered friends in Spanish and my friend's initials. So that was my friend that came tonight to Craft Club. And there is the V for Victoria.
Yes,
it was
you
the
can
three
use
of
my name.
us. Yes, I can use her name. Yeah, so I have fun with that. That's really where I'm happiest, where I don't have a pattern and I just do whatever. Isn't this cute? Like, I love spending, I don't know, 3 hours doing something like that. It's great. So anyway, that's it.
Yeah.
That's my, there's tons. I will bore you showing you all the bits that I've embroidered on my clothes. I love it.
It's excellent.
Yes. So that was my,
That's all you wanted to show?
yes.
So, let us know if you've got any questions, just put them in the messages below. I know the lighting for the second part has been a bit off. We're doing it quite late at night. So if there's anything that wasn't in focus or that you wanted to see a better image of, just let us know and we can re-show it next week or next video. Again, thank you for watching and enjoy the bits of Port Chalmers, which hopefully are about to start.
They are inserted. Yes, I'm sure Victoria will be able to do that.
Excellent.
So thank you for all your support. We hope you've enjoyed what we've done.
Yeah.
And I'll see you next week, and we'll see you in a fortnight.
Excellent. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.